Ultamize. You're in the middle of telling a story, and somewhere around sentence number 4, you see it. They nod, but their eyes drift just slightly. They glance past you for a split second. Maybe they check their phone, or worse, they do that polite smile that says, I'm still here, but not really here. And now you're stuck because you feel it. You've lost them. But instead of stopping, you keep going. You add more detail. You try to make it more interesting. You explain it better. And every extra sentence just pulls them further away. Most people have experienced this. Very few people understand why it happens. Because the problem is not what you think. It's not that your story was terrible. It's not that you're not smart. It's not that you don't have interesting things in your life. The problem is something much simpler and much more fixable. You're operating on the wrong default settings. Let me show you what I mean. Imagine two people answering the exact same question. What did you do this weekend? Person one says, well, Friday after work, I was pretty tired, so I went home. But then my spouse wanted me to go out. So we ended up going to this restaurant. Have you heard of it? It's new and the service wasn't great, but the food was actually pretty good. And then Saturday morning, that person hasn't even gotten to the point. And the listener's already gone. Now compare that to someone who says, I finally tried that new restaurant downtown. Food was great. Service was, have you been there yet? Same life, same experience, completely different impact. The second person is instantly more engaging, not because they're more interesting, but because they understood something most people don't. Conversation is not about delivering information, it's about managing attention. And this is where almost all communication advice completely fails. Most courses, books, and podcasts will tell you things like make eye contact, ask questions, be confident. And all of that sounds reasonable, but it doesn't stick. You might hear it, you might even agree with it. You might try it for a day or two, and then you go right back to your old habits. Why? Because behavior doesn't change from a single insight. It doesn't change from one video or even a weekend course. It changes from repeated exposure. And you already know this works because it's happening to you all day long. From the moment you wake up, you're being trained. Notifications, ads, messages, images, sounds, beeps, thousands of tiny signals telling you what to pay attention to, what to click, what to buy, how to react over and over again. Not once, not occasionally, every single day. And that repetition changes behavior. You don't think about checking your phone anymore, you just do it. You don't think about certain habits, they just happen. That's not motivation, that's programming. And this is the core idea behind what we're doing here. This is Ultamize. Ultamize is built on a very simple principle. If repetition can be used to install bad habits, it can be used to install better ones. Instead of trying to fix your communication with effort, we change your defaults, short messages, simple ideas, repeated consistently until the right behaviors feel automatic, not forced, not awkward, not something you have to remember, just how you show up. And right here, we're applying that specifically to one thing, how you show up in conversations. Because right now, without realizing it, you may be talking too long, explaining too much, focusing on yourself too often, sharing things the other person doesn't actually care about, or listening just enough to respond, but not enough to really connect. None of that makes you a bad communicator. It just means you've been trained by a world that rewards talking, reacting, and filling space. What we're going to do instead is retrain you so that when you're in a conversation, you naturally say less, ask better questions, listen more closely, and make the other person feel like they matter. Because when you do that, people don't just stay engaged, they walk away thinking, that was a great conversation. And they assume you're a great conversationalist, even if you didn't talk that much. By the way, quick question for you. Have you ever noticed how easy it is to consume content and how hard it is to actually do anything with it? I mean, you can listen to 100 episodes, read 10 books, and your habits are exactly the same. That's the gap most people never close. So if you're listening to this and thinking, yeah, I want to actually improve, go to ultamize.com. We've got free courses there for you, either on communication skills or building better habits. And it's designed to get you to actually use what you're learning, not just hear it once. No cost, no catch. Just go to ultimize.com and start.